All right, there we go. Jeez. Sorry there, folks, for the craziness. Luckily, no one's here yet. That's good. I may cut this stuff out. So what's this? Huh. Didn't know that. All right. Well, got some interesting updates to the development environment that I would like to share. So let's get into that, shall we? I don't know. Maybe this is a bust, but it's Friday night before a holiday. Holiday week. You all are probably working hard. I'll be working all weekend. So, all right. So this has to do with how to create how to create a widget and the quickest way to create a widget. In all of the ways that I've taught in the course, in the free course, in my documentation, I've taught you one way, and that's using the starter template to create a repository. And you have to go through a bunch of technical steps. You have to start with my template, clone it, do all that stuff. We're going to try it the opposite way. We're going to stay in on your machine and create the widget from there. This is a process where you don't have to think about all that stuff about templates and cloning and stuff. This just does it all for you. And this is how a lot of frameworks, a lot of ways to work with JavaScript in the web are done. So I'm just gonna show you how it's done. It's pretty simple. It's basically using a command, using your terminal to create an app or to create a widget to get it started. So you have everything that you need to get started. So let's do that. I like it. Okay, so let's get started here. I gotta move stuff around. I don't know what's happening. All right, whatever. Okay, so let's see. So we start in. We don't actually even have to start in VS Code. So I'm going to simply because that's what I've been using. But really, it's pretty simple. So first thing we'll do is we'll open up the terminal, and we'll navigate to a directory that we want this to be in. Okay, so I have to send a text. No. All right, so let's try this. And I'm going to change myself into a directory. I'm going to change directory. Users, Jeremy Brown. I have this memorized, documents, and JS work. All right. Now that I'm in the directory that I want this this widget to be created, all I got to do, and I'll put the command in the description of this video, as well as in the community, so that you can see it there. So it's really simple. It's just this: npx at integrating magic. That's me. Dot or slash create dash js in fm widget. All right. So when I do this, I'm going to construct my widget. Everything that I need for the widget right here. I'm going to construct it in this line. And that'll be it. It has a series of prompts that you'll follow, and you'll answer those prompts, and then you'll move on. By the way, this idea has been percolating in my head for quite a while. I really wanted to be able to do this. I just didn't know how. Then Josh Willing was talking to me about it on Tuesday of this week. And then Sam brought it up on Wednesday. He has one ready to go. So I spent Wednesday evening just like figuring it out, like trying to. And it actually it came together. And then I spent all of Thursday and today spicing it up, making it awesome, and so forth. So let's watch what this does. Hopefully it doesn't break. I haven't tested this in the last 2 hours. Here we go. So we press that, and it's going to ask us, it's going to go through a series of prompts. So we give it a widget name. We're going to call this chart for client, this has to be unique because it's in the folder. So you'll get an error if you don't make it unique. What is a description? Notice there are some defaults in there. The author, I couldn't figure out how to put that in there. So you can just put in whatever author you want. The version, put just 1.000. I need to fix that, so I'll fix that. License, MIT. We'll talk about licensing and versioning in later episodes. Now here's what's cool, is this prompt is saying what widget type do you want? And you get to choose from one of my starter files any of the ones that you're interested in using. If you want to create just a plain JavaScript one with any old library, start with that one. If you want to create a React one, if you want to work with data tables the way that I've got it set up, and finally, if you want to work with Apex charts, I've got a starter file. So these 4 choices will pick one of the repos that I've got on my GitHub page, and it will bring it in to this project. Okay, so that's cool. So let's just start with the JS one. So I hit JS, and then it says, what is the name of the target client file for the widget? So the default is JS dev, but you can give it any name. If you're working with a client file and you want to just hook this up to that file right away, you can give it the client file name. Remember, the widget name and the client file is going to go into that new widget config file that we've got. All right, so let's run that. Now this is interesting, and I look forward to people's feedback. Want me to install and initialize the repository? So you can choose yes or no. I think most cases you're going to choose yes because it'll do a lot of the extra work for you. But you can also choose no, and we'll talk through the differences. But for now, I'm going to choose yes. Oh, it looks like I can't do that because I've already got a file called chart for client. So let's do it again. Chart for client 2. Again, final, last one. Okay, there we go. JS dev, and do I want to? Yes. Now let's watch it do what it's going to do. It's doing its thing, and there we go. So now it's done. I wish I hadn't done that one. So there we go. It says we created our widget, and we didn't have to worry about opening the browser. We didn't have to do any template stuff or cloning stuff. We just did this in our terminal. And again, you can use any terminal. So now we're going to CD into that, that horrible chart for client 2, again, final, last one. Okay, I'm in there, and then I'm going to, since I'm in VS Code, I'm going to open up in VS Code. I thought that was, no, sorry. I was trying to learn a new command. Code, period. There we go. Okay. So there we go. Don't need this. So here we have a complete starter file with all of the code that I have built for the JS dev environment. I have the FileMaker file, the source, the index.js, and what's cool is I have that widget config. So this is, again, something we talked about earlier this week, in the last couple of weeks. This is an update that I made. But now I've got an export for, or I've got a configuration for this widget name, and I've got the file. That's interesting. I got to fix that because it looks like those are the same. So I'll fix that. So the file should be whatever file you chose. I'll fix that. All right, don't just ignore that. All right. All right, so there we go. And now I can just start to create my widget. Everything I need is in here. So npm start, and then open up the file. And there it is. And there we go. We have everything. We have everything that we need for our widget to be created. I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. All right, so let's go back to here and just look at this again because I want to walk through the other one. Oh, by the way, okay. So let's talk about this. Sorry, I'm not done yet. This widget, I asked it to install itself in the options there, and I asked it to initialize the repository. What that did was, well, of course, it installed. So now we have the node modules folder, and everything is ready to work. And it created a new repository, and you can see here in my source control tab that I've got a bunch of changes. So all of this was created brand new on my machine. And again, this is different than what I had done previously, where you create it up on in GitHub, and then you bring it down to your machine. Here, we're creating it here on our machine locally. This doesn't exist. If I look at remotes, there's no remote connected to this yet. But that's what we do here. So it's saying that we added all these files to this brand new repository, and we can now commit it. So I could say first commits. There we go. And now I'm able to publish the branch. VS Code allows me to easily publish the branch in whatever name I want and wherever I want, or in the account, and I can choose public or private. So I'm going to publicly publish it. Now there's a remote added. Now there's a repository added. And if I go to this space here, browser, if I go there, here it is. First commit, everything is good. All right, so again, this is opposite of what I have taught people before. I think this is a lot easier though. Okay, so that's that. Now that I have it set up like this, I'm going to show you the other route where, and I'm not going to do that silly name again. I'm going to go back to the JS work file. First of all, I'll close. Actually, why don't I just quickly set that up here? I'm going to open up my terminal because we don't need code to do this. I'm going to open up my terminal, and I'll just quickly change this to the terminal. There we go. All right, so let's watch this. I can do the same thing. First of all, cd into the users, wherever you're trying to put this. Okay, that's where mine goes. And then I will run that command again, npx at integrating magic / create JS in FM widget. Okay, it's going to run through that process. Widget name, I'm going to call this, let's see, I'm sitting here, how about Kirby? Because that's one of my dogs. Solving a client problem, author, version, MIT. All right, I'll choose Apex this time. And I want this to go into the JS dev. Now I'm going to say no, because in the last version of this, I said yes. And now I'm going to say no. So let's say no. So this will do what it needs to do, except for it didn't do any of the install. So it's giving you directions about what you do. So let's do that. cd Kirby code period. All right, so it's in code. You don't see it, but it's open. Then I can do an npm install. So it's npming installing over there. And we'll switch back to VS Code. And there it is. So now it's installed. Now this doesn't have, there is no tracking going on. One of the question said, do you want to install and initialize a repository? This is not a repository right now. This is not a repository. It's a set of files. I'm sorry, it is a repository, but it doesn't have any get tracking going on. This is, you can make 100 changes and nothing would show up in the source control because it hasn't been initialized. And that was a choice that I made with the option. So here we can initialize it. And again, VS Code gives us the options to do that. So we could hit that button. We could also come into the terminal here open that up here and type in git init, and that initializes this folder, this repository with the git stuff. And now it's tracked the changes. Now you can see the 15 changes. So yeah, so when you're creating a widget, that's what I've chosen to do, is to let you choose to install and do the initialization. You don't have to do the initialization. You could just work on this completely on your machine. You don't have to worry about GitHub or anything. It's just on your machine and it's working, but it's working just fine. All right, so that's it. It looks like I got to fix one issue. I'm gonna just check. Yeah, so I'm gonna, well, while you're here, stay with me. I'm gonna go into the source code of this. Here it is, and I'm gonna see if I can fix that. So this is the code that is doing the work of, so file name, 1, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. So here's the widget name. These are the options. These are the questions I'm asking you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. Oh, interesting. I'm not using that. 1, 2. Ah, there it is. I see what I did. Okay. Let's remove this. All right, let's see if that's correct, if that works now. All right, so now it's going to be picked up. So this one is the one that's going to be used. It looks like I overwrote it, or within scope, I used the same variable name, and so it just it overwrote it. So there we go. This should be the one to work. All right, so I'm going to increment this up to 1.1.2, and then I will do npm publish. So now it's public. Wait, what's going on? Yeah, this is it. Oh, did I not save it? I didn't save the package JSON. All right, let's try that again. npm publish. All right, so it's been published up to the repo. And now I can go back to my terminal. Let's go back to my terminal. Let's just do this one more time and make sure that that file name doesn't get, or the file name is used. I just got an email saying it was successfully published, so it should be ready to go. CD, there we go, and then we'll do that, and we'll call it, oh, I don't need that. What am I looking for? Okay, what's my widget name? Honey. Zelda. I'll do the React one. Okay, so let's see. There we go. All right. So now we can go over to CD honey Zelda code period. Open up in VS Code. Open up in VS Code. Get rid of this one. Now it's installed. And let's see the widget config. Yep, has the right thing. So in the previous versions, the widget name was also becoming the file name. That's not what we want. The file name should be different. All right, well, that is it for today. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat. I see one person here. Hi. I'll put this together in a little bit slicker of a video. But yeah, this is what I was doing today. You know, people in office hours really give me some challenges to work through. Actually, again, I've been thinking of this for a while, so it's not like they were doing this, but I brought up the idea and they were like, yeah, do it. Don't leave work until, and then Sam said he has had it started already. So Sam and I are thinking a lot alike there. All right, well, that's it. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna close this out pretty quick. Do you have any thoughts or questions? Do you understand what I'm doing? Just want to make sure that, oh, by the way, I didn't even check this, but this is my React app. So if I start it up, npm start, it's already been installed, so I've already started it up. And then I open up the JS dev file. Here it is. Here's my React stuff. So this is my React version of the app. It's not very pretty. I probably should do some work to get that cleaned up, but at least we have a beautiful, at least we have a React app to start, and all the structure is all set for you to just start working in the source. In this case, you're going to start to work in the myapp.js. Actually, I just didn't follow my own. I got to fix that. All right. Well, folks, that is it. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you like this. Yeah, this has been fun to work with JavaScript and FileMaker, putting the two together. If you haven't, please come and be part of my community. I am at community.jsandfm.com. Let me show you that. Here we are. And this is where you can be part of the conversation about working with JavaScript and FileMaker. If you're using JavaScript, then please contribute, help those folks in the community be part of it. If you are not using JavaScript, but you're a FileMaker developer, then you're welcome to learn along with us. All right. Any other thoughts or questions? Sounds good. Thank you. Hit me up in the community, or you know where to find me if you're around. Yeah, good to talk to you. I'm excited about this update that I just presented. I think it will be so much easier to create a widget. I'll be able to do this in half a second to get that started. And again, this follows what other app development frameworks follow. Vite uses this, React uses this idea, Next.js uses this idea, Tailwind, I think, uses this idea as far as installing it into a project. So yeah, we got some good stuff there. Give it a try. Oh, thanks, Sam. Yeah, you inspired me. I was able to get it done. I'd like to see your version though, so be sure. Let's talk about your version. Show it next week show it next week in what's it called? Office hours. All right. All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining me today. I will see you next week. Bye.